Alright, okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Right, today we'll be covering on chapter 2. Will be live, okay? So there will be Facebook Live. Right? Okay, the topic today will be on consumer research. Okay, consumer research. So I would just like to something here so that we can get the topic to be shared with the online right. Oh, hilang dah. Okay, we should be just for a while. There will be okay. Okay, the consumer research process, chapter 2, and the learning objectives. Okay, the learning objective is to understand, okay, the first one is to understand the importance of consumer research from firms and their brands as well as consumers. Okay, why do actually we need to do consumer research, right? To understand also number 2, okay, the steps in consumer research process, and number 3, to understand the importance of establishing specific research objective as the first step in the design of a consumer research project. All right. Before that, I'd like to make it more interesting, yeah? Okay, just wait for a while. Where is the manicam? Alright, here we should add not here. I think it is preset 7, preset 4, 2, 1. Okay, preset 4 should be from lower third chroma key. Video. Alright, okay, this one. This should be this one. Is it too big? It is too big, right? So just put it a little bit small and put it up here, right? And then I'll put this one as and I'll put it maybe here or here, down here. Okay. All right. Okay, now we can start again. Sorry about that. Sorry. Okay. Where is the PowerPoint? Okay. So number 3 is to understand the importance of establishing a specific research objective as a first step in the design of a consumer research project. And number 4, to understand the purpose and type of consumer research that is available, okay, for making decision or planning future consumer research. Okay, so we have type of secondary consumer research that is available, and then to understand specific features and application of different research methods to be carried out in consumer research study. There are a lot of research methods and the methods that you can use. Okay, for research, you can use a lot of method, simple, qualitative, or quantitative, right? Numbers or words. Okay, all right. And then to understand where data analysis and reporting of finding fits in the research process, and to understand how each element of the consumer research process add to the overall outcome of the research study. So basically, when you want to do business, okay, or you want to sell something, some product or services to your consumers, basically you need to understand that. You need to understand your consumers. So that's why it is important for you to do research, okay, and then see what are their needs and wants and so on, right? Then you can sell to them, right? Or not, you'll be short sendiri. You know what short sendiri? Okay, this is the problem of Malay. I'm not going to say Malay. This is a problem of the entrepreneurs, right? In general, they can produce products, but they cannot sell it because sometimes the products are not really wanted or demanded by the public, right? And this is also happening in academics. They do research, okay, but the product or the innovation is not being practically used by the public, all right? Okay. Now, why do marketers regularly test print ads like this one before they are placed in the media? So, for example, that is Gillette. Skincare. Okay, complete skincare protect facial moisturizer. Gillette is normally targeted for men, right? Okay. Men do also, what you call it, protect. They want to protect their skin, right? So basically, this is a skin care. Okay, why do actually they try to do this print ad first? I mean, they try to test these print ads before they go into the market. Why? To test what? Why do they want to test? To see the response, right? See whether what does this, okay, ad can actually attract people, attract the men, right? You can see that there is like very, what call it, dry, and then suddenly Gillette is there, and then there are a lot of, what call it, this is cactus or what? Okay, some kind of grass, right? So saying that it actually moisturizes the place, right? So they test this first, okay, whether you can actually understand it, right? So whether you can actually attract attention, right, of your consumers, of the one that you are targeting to buy, right? This is targeted for men, and do they actually see this as an interesting ad and persuades, okay, them to buy the products? Okay, one example. So to test the impact of the message before spending large amount of money, because when you want to print this, when you want to print this, it will cost you a lot of money, right? A lot of money. That's why you have to test first. You do the consumer research. You do, okay, research. Test first, okay. But sometimes, yes, you can hantam promo. But when you lose money, then you know, right? Okay, and printing. Whoa, sorry. You got to call the technician. I am the technician. I am the lecturer. Okay, so all in one. Everything is. This is the new era. Okay. All right. So we need to do research, right? And then the importance of consumer research process. Basically, marketers must understand customers to design effective. We need to understand who are our customers, right? So that we can design, okay, for our marketing strategies, the products, promotional messages, right? So if we want to sell it to the man, probably the messages should be masculine. Okay, you cannot say that your face will be beautiful. Right, so they will not buy. They're gonna buy it. But you say that you'll be look tougher and I don't know, whatever which is masculine, right? Rather than feminine. Right? Okay. Okay, this is the consumer research process. First, we develop the objective. Then we collect, okay, the secondary data. Okay, then we design, okay, qualitative research or quantitative research. Okay, and then we have the method, the screener, questionnaires, discussion guide. This is qualitative, and this is quantitative. Okay, this is normally using surveys. Okay, you do surveys, you know, surveys, questionnaires. This is normally using interviews, focus groups, discussion. Okay, right. So it's more of getting the what is actually do survey to many people, but for interviews normally you do about 20 interviews, 10 interviews. That would be sufficient for you because you want to go in depth, right? In depth. A survey is more on surface, okay, on the surface only. All right. And then you conduct research using highly trained interviewers. You cannot just go and ask someone, okay, without trained, without skills to interview your respondents. Normally they will be done by what we call consultants, right? Consultants in the research, in marketing and so on. Then they will analyze the data. Okay, this is normally using qualitative data. Then you have to analyze it using qualitative methods also, right? Analyzing the data can be used using software also, right? You can use NVivo, then you can use Atlas TI and so on. Then you prepare the report. This is qualitative. Then the other one is quantitative. Okay, you collect primary data, which is using surveys, right? And then usually by enumerators, they call it enumerators, right? Then once we collect the data, we analyze the data. Then we prepare a report. Okay, remember, last night or yesterday or the other day, I've sent you a survey, right? And many of you have actually responded to the survey, but this is one example of quantitative research, right? We want to know what is actually your level of understanding about financial matters. You understand about finance, you understand about your future, financial future, right? So that's why we want to know that. But we do not know if we don't ask. So if you have already responded, thank you so much. If you have not responded, please do so. Right? Okay. Because tomorrow we will do like a quick run test to see the level of understanding of our students. All right. Then we have two types of data. Right? The first type is secondary data, the other one is primary data. Secondary data is actually based on data which has already been provided by a third party, someone else. You use data from the central bank, you use data from the statistics department, so that is what we call the secondary data. Data which is available. Then you just use that data, and normally that data is macro data, okay? Macroeconomics data. Right? You know how many, for example, you want to know how many men or women in the state of Negeri Sembilan or Selangor. So you will look at the statistics from the statistics department. Right? And then that is considered as secondary data. The primary data is actually when you collect by yourself. Okay, you yourself collect the data, and it comes from primary. It can come from interviews and surveys, right? So it can be qualitative, it can be quantitative. All right. And developing the research objectives. Now, this part is really, really important because you need to know what is your purpose, okay, of you doing the research. Okay, for example, when you know that you are actually trying to get this answer, then you can design the research. You can design the study. Right? For example, I would like to know whether men use moisturizer or not. Okay, for example. Okay, then you ask question to the men. Right? So you can see that whether they use moisturizer or not. Okay, let's see. Let's show how many of you use moisturizer. Please raise your hand. Oh, lucky. The man. How many? Okay, this is one example of how we do research. But this is not using survey. This is like using show hand. Right? No one use moisturizer. Okay, now let's say my research objective is different right now. I'd like to know how many women use moisturizer. Okay, can we have a show hand? Okay, can I say majority? So, now you know, from your research objective, you know that men don't use moisturizer, female use moisturizer. Okay? Alright, so it is actually a written statement of objectives have to define the type and level of information needed. Right? So you have your research objective. Let's say your research objective is very simple like that. You want to know whether men use moisturizer or female use moisturizer. So that is you have to write it. Then when you have written it, then you know what will be designed. For example, the design here is that just ask in the question, ask question in the class, right? Then you know you get the answer. But that is not going to be that simple for you if you have a new product and you need more information, right? So that's an example. Just now is a simple example. All right, okay. Now, discussion question. Assume that you are planning to open a new pizza restaurant near your campus. I've just been to Domino. Domino, just nearby our campus. It's quite okay. I've seen one of the, I tried one of the menu, which is sambal apa? Ikan bilis, something like that. With the ikan bilis, it tastes like pizza nasi lemak. Right? It is pizza, but the taste is just like you want. You eat nasi lemak or maybe nasi goreng kampung, right? So, which is quite interesting, right? Because you have the anchovies, okay? And anchovies, you know what's anchovies? Yeah, anchovies and chilies and so on, right? So it's a bit spicy. Which is good, right? And so that's example. Now, let's say if we want to open a pizza, right? A pizza restaurant or maybe a pizza takeaway. What may be the three objectives of a research plan for your new business? And how could you gather this data? Right. So what would you think? What would be the three objectives? Just simple three objectives. Who will be the target market, right? And then the menu, the pizza menu, right? Okay, and then the price, okay, for your target market. Okay, let's say one simple, because you want to open it nearby your college, nearby your campus, so saying that your target is actually students, right? So how much a student can afford to pay for your pizza? Yeah? Below 10 ringgit. Below 10 ringgit. So now you know that you really set the menu, what we call it, the level of pizza that we should be affordable for the students. Right? So that is one which is good. You know it, but you need to actually do the research also. Probably you have to ask the FKP students, you have to ask FSU students, you have to ask the FST. Probably FST students say that, oh, we can afford 50 ringgit. And maybe FSU said, oh, I'd like to have pizza which is 50 ringgit. Right? And then you ask the lecturers. The lecturers said, oh, we only can afford 5 ringgit only. Right? Okay? Example. Okay. Now let's look at this is I've actually mentioned before, right? Secondary data that has been collected for reasons other than the specific research project at hand, includes internal and also external data. Right? Secondary data. Basically, this is, for example, this is data from Bank Negara, data from Statistics Department, and so on. Then you go and collect. Right? So that example of secondary data. Okay, you have internal data and also external data. Internal data may be data generated by your company, by your department, by your whatever. Okay, and then the external data is actually collected by outside organization. Okay, example, maybe you go for the library, okay, go for the periodicals, newspapers, books, okay, search engine, right, and so on. And sometimes also you can buy the data. You can buy the data from market research firm, for example, Ernst & Young, and so on. Okay, and then discussion, question, personal privacy. Many people do not like the fact that their personal data are used for marketing, right? How can marketers justify the need for the data? Because we need data. Marketers, we need data. And this data sometimes is being sold. Okay? So basically, yes, you need the data, but your consumer doesn't want their data to be sold, exposed to, disclosed to other parties. Right? So that's why they are coming with the PDPA, okay? Personal Data Protection Act, okay? Personal Data Protection Act, And also you can see the last previous few months, okay, Facebook, okay, Mark Zuckerberg was charged, was brought to court because of data issues. Okay, because of data issues, breach of data or something like that. Right? And how can they acquire data and maintain customer privacy? Facebook, for example, your data is your data, you are being really exposed to not only the companies selling products, but also to others, the public, right? My data is also, right, very exposed, right? Even now, they are seeing me, okay, giving lecture, okay, and the whole world is actually looking at or watching the video, the live. Okay, I say the whole world because I have a lot of friends from, other countries, from Thailand, from the United Kingdom, from the United States of America, from the Middle Eastern countries. So probably one of them will be watching, okay, watching you guys, not me, because I'm not that really interesting. Okay, all right. If this is one example, I'm going to open the Facebook now. Okay, Facebook, and if you look at the, see, so not so many people has like it, only 3 people like it, right? 3 people like it. Sorry. And they are watching you. Okay, there is something. This thing is actually not really. Okay, maybe we can change the setting. You want it to change the setting, or what? You have to be more visible to the others. Really? You don't want? Okay, so I'm being transparent. So basically, I'm actually letting the others to see, okay, what actually I'm doing, right? I'm lecturing. So even though they are not in the university, they actually can listen to the lecture, right? So now they know that, oh, this USIM student is actually learning consumer behavior, and you are actually learning from Dr. Adli, or maybe Adli, okay? I have to call myself Dr. Adli, or Adli only, right? Okay, so they know that you are interacting with me, we are communicating, we are learning something, okay? So it is live. And do you think is, okay, example, this is my data. See how my data is being public, right? This is my data. Da-da, 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 mm-hmm, 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 everything. Married to so. See? I should not be putting this in. Should be rahasia, secret. But it's actually open, being transparent. Okay, transparent. Okay. All right, now let's continue on. So, let's continue. All right. Okay. So sometimes we ourselves expose ourselves. Right? Even my friend in the UK said, he call me Adli, right? Adli, you are too exposed. Everything is in the net. Why? How do you know that? I do the search. So he's doing the search. So everything is in the net. Right? Example is my Facebook. But if you, let's see, okay, let's do one experiment. Who wants to become the volunteer? Who wants to become the volunteer? Wawa. Where is Wawa? Wawa, where is Wawa? Where is Wawa? Okay, Wawa. Okay, that's it. What's your real name, Wawa? It's totally different from Wawa. Najwa. Najwa. One Najwa. No, one Nurfatin. Afidah. Afika. Four names. One Nurfatin. Afika is one name. Oh, Afika Najwa is one name. Wow. Sometimes, yeah, amazing. Amazing. Now, let's do the experiment. I'm sorry again, I have to go to the net again. I want to go and try to see. Okay. You are using your real name for your Facebook? You are using your real name? No? Okay, one. No. Fatin. Afika. Okay. You are exposed. You can see that. Where is it? Where is it? One. Huh? Oh, private. People. Where is this one? Okay. Okay. Now let's open it. Oh, okay. Alright. Now everybody, now I know this is you. No, this is you. This is you. This one. Okay. Alright. See? Your data is actually, okay, probably your data cannot be seen by me, but I know that you studied at UC. So when let's say if I just want to call you, say, then, hello, can I speak to one Nurfatin? And then you will ask, okay, oh, I know you are studying in UC, right? So then when someone say that, oh, you probably he's also from UC, right? But sometimes it's also, there are good and bad, okay? Being exposed. One thing is that you want to expose yourself is you want to market yourself. If you are a businesswoman or businessman, you want to expose. You really want people to know you, right? You really want people to know. Okay, let's say another example. Okay, now I'll go and try to find your name in, okay, see, Facebook. Okay, Facebook. Now I know that you are active in Facebook. Yeah, you do? You're not active in Facebook. Okay, but your profile in the net is in the Facebook. Right? The rest are not you, right? The rest are not you. Okay. Right. Let one use another example. Want to get the boys, the man. Yes? Who do you want to know? Shahid. Where is Shahid? Where is Shahid? Okay, Shahid. Let's try to find Shahid. How do you spell Shahid? S-H-S-Y-A-H-I-R Iqbal. Viral. Wow. Should we click here? Oh, that was Shafiq Iqbal. Okay, this one, yeah? Alright. Okay, now we have so many Shahi Iqbal. This one, not UITM. Oh, there's so many Shahi Iqbal. Okay, this one, no. You are not using your real name. Okay. Now we get it. Huh? Muzawe. Okay. How do you spell it? Huh? Oh, we have the real name there. Okay. We have two here. Which one is? Huh? Both are the same. Huh? This one. Okay. Bersih cakap amanah. Yusim went to Maktab Mamu All Star, Sekolah Rendah Islam All Star, live in Nilai All Star, single. That is actually very, very important there. Very, very important. Single, okay? Alright? Okay, example. Another one is, which is the other one? This one? Okay, alright. Lesser information. But single is still there. Okay, that's example, okay, of how actually we have our data which is publicly online, right? Okay. All right. So next one, where you gonna go? Primary. Then it's gonna be no Facebook, just like no Facebook, because Facebook is social media. So you are actually trying to be socialize yourself in the net. All right, now designing your primary research. Okay, just now is secondary, then we have primary, right? Primary research, you want to design whether you want to do for qualitative research. Okay, you go for in-depth interview, right? In-depth interview is just saying that, okay, why do you want to choose that? Why do you want to use the product, kan? Your compact powder, for example. That is the most, I call it, easy example that I can use at the moment. Compact powder. Why do you want to use compact powder? And how do you actually use it? Do you use it every day? Every 2 hours? Once a day? 5 times a day, right? After your prayer, you put that also at least 3 times. Right? Morning, okay? And then Zuhur, Asar. Maghrib and Isha, no. Because you are at right. But if you are until night, you are outside, normally you will use it when you are outside of your house, right? So if you are until night, then it will be 5 times a day. Right? If you don't have holiday lah. Alright. So focus, okay, this is in-depth interview. You ask why you use it. Okay, why do you use it, right? And then what would be the brand that you want to use? So you ask that question, you go in depth, right? tu macam bahasa Malaysia, dalam kan. But normally in English they don't say that, right? So okay, this is just like using the Malay with the Malay English. Okay, the Malay English. Alright, and then focus group. Okay, focus group is actually you have, for example, a group of people that you ask questions in a group. Okay, and then you ask question, the same question to all the people, to all the respondents, and see that whether they have consensus, whether they have agreement or disagreement. Okay, so you want to see that, because if you ask only one person, okay, the interview, for example, okay, so I mean single interview, you only ask that particular person. But now when you have in a group, sometimes you need to agree or disagree with the opinions of the others. So this is focus group. Okay, then you have projective techniques and metaphor analysis. So I'm not going to go into detail of this, but these two is already sufficient for you to understand. At least you could know that you can do interview or you can go for focus group interview. You interview 5 people in one time, one shot. Okay? So what is the setup is very simple. Okay, like this. The setup is I'm going to give you an example of a setup. Okay. Okay, this, let's say this is your table, okay? Probably you will be here, okay, you will be the interviewer, right? Then you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 interviewees. You ask questions, okay? But you must make sure when you ask questions, you have to remind them, okay, please discuss politely and civil, okay? Because maybe sometimes you don't want them to be fighting. Sometimes it can be if you are discussing a very sensitive issue, right? So you can see maybe chairs are flying, okay, overhead and so on, right? So this is focus group. The interview, if you are doing just a sole interview, okay, you are interviewing only this person, one. Okay, so you understand focus group? Okay, understand, eh? Right. And then we have, this is, no, this, we call it the one-to-one interview, face-to-face, one-to-one. Usually 20 minutes to 1 hour. Non-structured. Non-structured means that you have only 2 questions. Okay, and it can go so, the discussion can go to A to B to C to D to F, right? So it's non-structured. Okay, you ask only 2 questions, 2 basic questions. What is your opinion about, for example, Dr. Adli? Then, example, or what is your opinion about the new compact powder? Okay, only that question, 1 question, and then you have a new question that you ask, on asking, which is not structured, based on the interviewees. What the interviewees say, then maybe you want to ask more. Right? And then interview will open probe to get more feedback. So it will be a probing. It's just like maybe if you want to get it, some ideas that. It's just like a police asking questions, right? Police asking questions, then when they already see that you are doing wrong or right? So investigator, right? So something like that. Session is usually recorded, okay? Recorded, or maybe video, okay? Because why do that? Because you want to transcribe the interview. Transcribe is actually getting it from verbatim to document. So, okay, all right. Problem options for interviews. Okay, request for elaboration. Tell me more about that. Okay, give me an example of it. Okay, what do you mean by example, kan? What do you mean by, apa maksud you ni sebenarnya? Right? You ask more questions. Apa maksudnya you compact powder tu kena liquid? Contoh. Bukan kena liquid, kena apa? Compact powder not liquid, right? Okay. A bit moisture, tak perlu. Dia memang kering. Tak juga. Dia ada macam moist sikit kan? Alright. So you ask more, right? Right? And then give me some synonyms that also describe macam, okay, what do you actually call this compact powder? Bedak sejuk? Kan? Contoh. Right. Apa bedak tiping? Bedak tepek. Alright. And then request for clarification. How does that differ from bedak sejuk? How does that compact powder differ from bedak sejuk? Tepek juga kan? The color. One is white, the other one is skin color. Right. So you get more, right? And then we in what circumstances do you use bedak sejuk and compact? Where? When? Bedak sejuk at night. Before sleep. So example, kan? Alright, and then you don't understand, right? Not a single thing. That's why they are sleeping right now. Because they don't understand. That Dr. is using compact powder. What is compact powder? Now we have done this, right? Last week? No? Or the other class? Alright, sorry, because I have many classes, so I'm going to show you, right? Okay. Come back. Okay. Say this is it. Sephora. Right, Sephora. Wow! Okay, in the previous class, okay, no, in the other class, I have not second class. They are in the afternoon class. Are you guys from the afternoon class? Huh? We have calculated how much is the, right? Okay, but okay, just for sharing, we have calculated the total ringgit this year for maintaining a woman. And the total cost is how much? How much? Now, have we calculated with you guys? You remember last week? How much did it cost? Equal? Is it 1,000 short per year? Okay, 1,000 per year. A student. Now, if I look here, all right, this is 65. Last time you mentioned it's only cost you 15 ringgit, right? This is 65. Okay, so RM1000 is just to maintain, right? Just to maintain your personal care. Okay, 1,000 a year, not including food and so on. Okay, so that's example. Okay, and now you understand Sephora and no Sephora compact powder. Understand? So what they do, they take that, they have a sponge, or tap, not slap, eh? Dab. Oh, not tap. Dab. Wow. A new word for me. Okay, alright, so we keep on learning every day. Okay, we keep on learning every day. Okay. Alright. Alright. And then request for clarification, where does this fit? Okay, what else is in this category of compact powder and so on? And then silent probe, this is non-verbal probe that is characterized by such an action as raised eyebrow, hand gestures, such as moving the right hand, rolling motion that signifies tell me more, tell me more, tell me more, right? Right? You are not telling anything, but tell me more, tell me more, right? Okay, maybe really? Yeah, but your eyebrows, right? So basically, you're asking that. So qualitative 8 to 10 participants, maybe 5, okay, and then respondents are recruited through a screener questionnaire, okay, lasts about 2 hours, always tape and videotape to assist analysis, often held in front of two-way mirrors. Online focus group are growing. Now this is something new. You do it online, probably using WhatsApp group or maybe using Telegram group, right? So you ask them to discuss. The problem with online focus group is sometimes some are not responding. Only 1 or 2 who are very strong, okay, answer all the questions. Only 1 or 2. Right? The rest are quiet. Yeah, for example, our class, right? Telegram group, they say that okay, only 1 or 2 will be responding, right? Maybe, right? Okay. Discussion guides for research, step-by-step outline for depth interviews and focus group. Interviewers will often improvise and go beyond the discussion guide. Right? So basically, we need to have a guide. Okay? For example, if you want to go for interview, you have a guide, how to do it. Focus group interview also, you have a guide, procedures, how to do it. Right? But you can go around, you can do some innovation. Okay, it depends on situation, depends on case. Right? Sometimes you need to improvise. Right? Okay. Okay, this is focus group discussion guide. Okay, example. Okay. Right. Qualitative collection method, projective technique, research procedure designed to identify consumer subconscious feelings and underlying motivations. Consists of a variety of disguise tests. We do like some disguise tests to see what will be the subconscious feelings and also what will be the motivation of them doing that particular thing. There are a lot of what call it social experiments that you can actually see. Okay? For example, you want to see why do actually they help this person. Okay, they do a social experiment. Okay, probably they disguise themselves as homeless and see the public want to help the homeless person or not. Okay, one example that I've seen, homeless person help the homeless person. Okay, and another social experiment that say that give the homeless person some money, and what the homeless person do is that the homeless person buy food and then they give to the other homeless. So which is very noble, we call it very kind-hearted, and so which is saying that okay, sometimes okay, being kind and being what we call it generous does not need you to be very rich. Sometimes you just need to be whatever you are, but you have this what we call it good heart. Okay, you will always help people. All right. So this I don't. Okay. Okay, common projective exercise, example, word association, sentence completion, photo, visual for storytelling, role playing, and so on. Right? For example, word association. The researcher has a list of words, some of them to be studied, and some just as failure. The researcher asks the respondent to react at one at a time to each word by stating, or in a focus group setting, writing on a pad the first word that comes to mind and explain the link. Okay, for example, you want to have to see what will be the brand when we talk about compact powder. Right? So you put the word compact powder, and then the interviewees will automatically write the first thing that they remember. Okay, let's say I say compact powder. Okay, what do you remember? Brand. Oh, sama je semua. Wardah. Pepsi. Very Young. Baby. Shelter. Enchanter. Okay, so that's the thing that you want to, you ask something, sebenarnya, you are really, for example, you want to actually see your product might be Enchanter. Right? You want to see what will be the brand that comes from their minds of the consumers. And you listen to tadi macam-macam apa tadi, all that brands kan? Kuh putih tak ada. Okay, example. Alright. Okay, jauh mangga jauh vida, jauh mangga saya. Alright, now let's look at the sentence completion. The researcher has a series of complete sentences that the respondent needs to complete with word or phrase. Incomplete sentence, and then you ask them to complete the sentence. Okay, you want to see what will be coming from their mind, because we want to see what is inside the subconscious mind. Subconscious mind is something that, okay, do you know what is subconscious mind? Okay, subconscious mind. Okay, because we have conscious and subconscious, right? Conscious mind is actually your mind is doing the work, do the thinking. Subconscious does not say that you don't do the thinking. It actually has been programmed in your mind. You don't have to think. Do you understand? Example, simple analogy. Simple analogy. I always use this analogy. When you still remember, okay, last time, okay, you just scan back to the past. Scan back to the past. Do you remember the first time your dad, your father teach, or maybe your brother or your mother teach you how to ride a bicycle? Do you still remember? Who taught you to ride a bicycle? Your dad, right? Okay, you still remember your dad, okay, taught you to teach, right, to ride a bicycle. Now, do you still remember when you want to, the first time that you ride a bicycle, is it very hard? Do you need to think how to balance yourself? You need to think how to put your legs and all that, right? Okay, right? So you have to think. Right? Your mind is consciously thinking, oh, how to balance, how to, daddy, ayah, nangis, jatuh kan? Yang lelaki pun sama. Right? So, but once you have already mastered, okay, and mastered riding the bicycle, do you have to think anymore? It goes like swiftly. You just ride on the bike and then fly. Right? So it's subconscious. Your mind does not have to think. You just sit on the seat, right? Then go. Do you need to think? Right. So that is subconscious. Right? Because your mind has already been programmed. Okay? That's why you want to change habit. You have to do it 21 times. So that it become habit. Right? Okay? So it become a habit. Alright. Oh, I need to disable notification. Not for this. Okay. Here. Setting. Okay, no. Done. Thank you so much. All right. Okay. Where is the PowerPoint just now? Okay, this one. All right. So, this is subconscious. Okay, so that's why you want to see what would be the subconscious mind of your customers, of your consumers. Right? You want to know what are their habits, what are their mind has been programmed. Because maybe you want to reprogram their minds. And that's what marketers do. You try to reprogram their minds, right? Your consumer's mind. Okay? Alright, okay. And then we have photo, visual for storytelling. Researcher creates and selects a series of photos of consumers, different brand of product, range of print ads, example, to serve as stimuli. Okay, the respondents are asked to discuss or tell a story based on their response to a photo or some or other visual stimulus. You ask them to look at this photo and then tell us a story about the, of course you want to know about it more, right? Or maybe role playing is quite similar to storytelling. However, instead of telling a story, the participant will be given a situation and asked to act out the rules, often with regard to product, brands, or particular selling situation. So you ask them to do a role playing. So this is not really playing. Maybe you need to have like a very participative respondent. Okay, all right. Then we have the metaphor analysis. The metaphor analysis, based on the belief that metaphor are the most basic method of thought and communication. Okay, Zaman metaphor elicitation technique combine collage research and metaphor analysis to bring the surface the mental models and major themes of construct that drive consumer thinking and behavior. So this is using metaphora. What is metaphora? All right. Okay. There are some consultants that are using metaphor and metaphora. Right? Metaphora. What is metaphora? Extrovert. Alright. Okay. I don't know, right? Okay, let's do some search. Okay, let's do some search. Okay. Understand? Okay, you are actually like saying that A is B. That's metaphor. You are an angel, babe, right? You are an angel. So it's actually metaphor, right? Simile is you like an angel, right? Understand? Kan? Macam kalau tiba-tiba datang seorang lelaki kepada you cakap, you macam, apa dia panggil? Line apa? Pick up line kan? You like a beautiful flower, right? Ataupun you like a blossom flower, kan? Itu metafor. Right. You like that is simile. But if you are a beautiful blossom flower, that is metaphor. Metafora lah. Sebab you samakan dia dengan kan bunga kan. So macam tu. You adalah you macam mana? You seperti daun melambai. Alright, sorry. That's very funny for me. Nanti kan saya jumpa kepada seorang wanita dan cakap, you ni macam daun melambai. Is it gonna be no? Tak boleh. Okay, so you seperti daun melambai. Okay, tak boleh lah. Bahasa Malaysia saya memang tak boleh lah ni. Kan? Alright, so thank you so much. Alright, so we continue on. Melambai. Okay. Now let's look at a qualitative collection method looking in. Look at information from threads, posting on social media, including blogs and also discussion forum, methodology to capture consumers' experience, opinion, forecast, needs, and also interests. The most easiest part is using Google. Okay? You want me to show it to you? Okay, one example, because theory without practical is not really good. Okay, so again, I have to go back to the internet. All right, so I will give an example. Okay, Google. This is a very powerful tool. Okay, Google. You can go for Google Trend. Okay, Google Trend. Wow, we have Google Trend. Right. Explore what the world is searching. You want to know what the world is searching right now is Taylor Swift and Kim Kardashian. Showing one of six example. Okay, this is in the US. This is the US. Right? This is US. Right? Okay, now let's change it to Malaysia. Where is Malaysia? Okay, let's do an experiment. All right. What do Malaysian people are looking at? Okay, wait for, where is the Malaysia? Malaysia. Okay. Okay, this Malaysia. I think this is already Malaysia. Oh, this is not Malaysia. Pending search. No, this is not Malaysia. Why is it not looking for Malaysia? Filter. Something wrong. Normally, if we will filter Malaysia, okay, this will go. Awas sikit. Okay, this is Malaysia. TM, SST, Office 365. This is Malaysia. UPSR. Oh, okay, this is what Malaysia search. Big Boss Food. Okay, only take Malaysia here. Okay, explore topic. Let's say tudung. Interest over time, you see the trend, tudung will be high, okay, in February, June. When is Raya? June. So you see, when June, many people search for tudung. And then for February and March, right? Okay. Cari tudung. Interest over time. Okay, so you see that interest by sub-region. Okay, 100, 97, 83. You can see that many in Johor, there not so much interest. 57 already. Okay, 48, Selangor. Perak, 66. Kedah, 81. Kelantan, Terengganu, 100 search. Sabah Sarawak, 34. 58. Melaka, Negeri Sembilan, 68. Melaka, 68. Alright, so this is example. Okay, you get information from the Google Trend. Okay, related topic. Zouk, Nurul Izzah, ribbon, maroon color, turban. Turban. Tudung. Okay. Alright. You see Nurul Izzah. 1,000. Which means that Nurul Izzah and Tudung. Okay. And Tudung and Zuk. Nilofa. Right. Okay, that example Tudung. Okay, the man, what do you want to search? Men normally don't have many products. What type of shoes? Huh? Adidas. Adidas, eh? Okay, Adidas. Okay, that is the search. Alright. From October last year. Okay, interest is 81 Sarawak, 72. Okay. 71. Okay, Melaka. 983. Melaka also 83. Okay. Alright. So Adidas normally Adidas Profi, Adidas Dirab. Okay. So this is maybe the brand, the we call it the design. Okay. One more if we want to try. Artist. Who? Nilofa. Okay, Alif Shukri, eh? Okay. No, we are live. We are live. Nanti Alif Shukri want to sue me. Kalau Nilofa tak apa, sue saya. Alright, let's say. Okay lah, Nilofa, right? Okay, Nilofa, please see the video. Alright? Okay, let's say Nilofa, right? Mana? How do you spell? Okay. Alright. Wow. Okay, do you know why? You see, promotion. Okay, you do it, bad promotion, bad publicity for promotion. See how many? Okay, last time it was just not so many, 17 search, okay, 13, suddenly goes up to 100 search. Okay, 100%. Alright, let's see. Okay. Alright. 91 Terengganu. Kelantan mana dia? Nilofa orang Kelantan. No, I have to learn Kelantanese also. 53, 66, 53, 61, 45, 45. Okay, Kelantan people like to search about Nilofa. Okay? Alright. You want to try another one? Okay, give me one example. Sajat. No, I don't want to do that. Nanti kan dia cari saya pula. Really? You want? Come on. Okay lah. Okay, Alif Shukri, okay? Okay, let's do Sajjad. Really? So the popularity has gone down. So they need to do something to increase that. Okay, why do you think that here is very first time? October. October. And you want to see which country? Which? Oh, you want to see Malacca? 55. 63. Okay, now Kelantan. Sajak also Kelantanese. Yes. Huh? Upak boleh Kelantanese. Okay. All right. So that's example. Okay. Now if you want to do the research, you know when is actually your product is actually being really demanded, really cyclical, right? So tudung normally just now we see that tudung is February and also June. Okay, and then compact powder. Okay, compact powder. Compact. Oh. Wow. Very, very volatile. Right? So this is dong 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 dong. Okay, this is when is it? Okay, December. Right? Same. This one? January. Oh, every time, every early month. Okay, so this is also early month. Early, this is in the middle. This is in the this is at the end. This is in the middle. At the end. Oh, this is May. This is June. Wow. Okay, Raya ni Julai. Okay, so this is quite difficult for you to, but it's actually that it goes up. It's just like the stock market, right? It is just like the stock market. So compact powder is ding 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 ding. All right. Okay, if you want to see, if you are a seller of a car seller, for example, they say Pro 2. Pro 2, what do you have? Pro 2 Asia. Okay, Asia. Asia. Is it the right? Is it the right spelling? Okay, Asia. You see, Asia, okay, is consistent search, but during May, okay, the search is drop. Okay, and then after that it goes up and down is dropping. Okay, after SST or GST, right? It's dropping. So it's Asia. Example, another car, Myvi. Is it this? Okay. So very November. Okay, November is actually maybe they're launching new Myvi, right? And then it just goes down, right? Yeah. So it's stable. Okay, all right. That example of how you want to actually look at the media, social media. Also, you can do search. Social media, you can do search from your WhatsApp group, Telegram group, right? And you can do also search using softwares, okay? Analytic. Oh, one more thing, there is another thing, we call it Google Analytics. Okay, this one, this is trend. Okay, the other one is Google Analytics. Wow. Mm. Okay, basically Google Analytics is different because you are actually looking at your customers of profile that visit your web. Okay, so that is Google Analytics. All right. So let's continue on. All right. Okay, let's continue on. Then we have quantitative research. Okay, quantitative research is basically from observation. Okay, observation, you just look, count, and then just observe. Okay, you just observe dots, and then you put it all the data. Okay, and you run the report. And then you will also can use experimentation, surveys, questionnaires, right? So basically, we look at observational, help marketers gain an in-depth understanding of the relationship between people and products by watching them buying and using products. Siapa-siapa yang suka menengok orang kan, elok kerja ni. Yeah. Tengok, just observe from the consumer entering the shop until the consumer get out from the shop, right? But sometimes consumers are not feeling very comfortable when you are being watched, right? Being monitored. Yeah, am I going to be monitored? But now you can use probably CCTV and so on, right? And then help researcher gain a better understanding of what the product symbolize, right? Okay, so this is observation, which is observe. Okay, the other one is data collection method, mechanical observational research, use mechanical or electronic device to record consumer behavior or response. The consumer increase use of highly convenient technologies will create more records for marketers. Okay, and then audits are a type of mechanical observation which monitors sales. Okay, this is actually uses mechanical electronic device, okay, to record consumer behavior or response. A lot of things you can do this. Okay, and then we have experimentation. Can be used to test the relative sales appeal of many types of variables. An experiment is usually controlled with only some variables manipulated at a time, while the others are constant. Test markets are conducted on a single market area. Experimentation can be conducted in laboratories or in the field. Okay, example, you want to try. Okay, we want to use this different type of packaging. So you put in one shop, for example, for your test, right? Maybe you do like 5 packaging. Okay, you see what would be the packaging that will attract people to buy. Okay, maybe some of the packaging, only the packaging are different, but the others are constant, which means that the layout and everything will be the same, except the packaging is different. And then you see how much sales packaging A generate, how much sales packaging B generate, and then so on. Then you can say, okay, maybe packaging B is better compared to the rest of the packaging. So this is experimentation. You experiment, you try. Okay, right. And then this question, what might direct marketers test in experiment? and how can they use the results? Direct marketers. Direct marketers is you actually go and see your customers and you direct selling, for example, at a level, right? Okay, what might they use as experiment? How they approach, right? How they say the word. So that's actually an experiment. Okay, they can test the experiment. Okay, example dia datang dia buat style macam ni, dia buat style macam ni, kat mana yang lagi kurang, kan? Okay, so that is experiment also. Alright, example, data collection method. This is mail, the cost is low, speed slow, response rate is low. Okay? When you send surat, mail, right? Interviewer bias not available, interviewer supervision not available, right? But this is using survey mail. Telephone, cost moderate, speed immediate, response rate moderate, and then geographic good, interview bias moderate, interviewer supervision easy. If personal interview, cost very high because you need to interview one by one, right? Include your mileage, right? Maybe accommodation, food, and so on. Speed very slow, right? Because you need to interview one by one. Response rate is high because once you see that person, definitely is high that he will or she will answer your questions. This is geography difficult if you want to interview someone in Kedah, maybe someone in Johor, right? So you have to go personally go there. Interview bias, problematic, but sometimes we are being biased. We are the interviewer, we are being biased. We lead the questions because we want to hear the answer, right? We want to hear the answer, I like the product. So you lead the question so that the answer is, I like the product. Interview supervision difficult, and then we have another one which is online. Yesterday you answered my online survey. So cost is low, speed is fast, response rate is self-selected, geographic excellent, interview bias not available, interviewer supervision is not available, only reliability is the issues. Okay, reliability means that whether you answer you answer it really true or not, or just answer. Okay. All right, so I think it's not an issue. Okay. So we have issues of sorry about that. So when we have validity and reliability issue, so if a study has validity, it collects the appropriate data for the study. A study has reliability. If the same questions asked of a similar sample produce the same finding. This is reliability and validity. Reliable which means that everybody will have the same response. Or not the same response, the answer is the same, but the statistic is the same, similar. So it's reliable. Everybody same, understand the question similarly. Okay? They understand the question similarly. Not, for example, this person understand differently from the other one. Question is the same, but their understanding are different. So there is no reliability on that question. Okay? Kenapa? Because sometimes double barrel. We call it double barrel questions. You know what's double barrel question? You ask two questions in one question. Example like this. Do you like to Do you like to eat KFC and McDonald's? See? KFC only. Because she doesn't like McDonald's, right? Right? So that is something. You asking two questions in one. And that is actually making it difficult for your respondent to answer. Because there are two questions, but the answer is one. You like or you don't like, right? So if you don't like McDonald's, but you like KFC, what do you answer? That is a simple double barrel question. Okay? Sometimes some questions are too difficult for you to understand. Okay, too difficult, maybe it's too technical or whatever. Right? So that is the issues of reliability. Alright? Attitude scale, for example, we have Likert scales. Okay, or Likert scale, ask to agree or disagree with a statement. Easy to prepare and interpret, simple for consumers. Really? Remember the question that you receive? We have agree to disagree, right? Sometimes they give 5, sometimes they give 3 scale, sometimes 7. So this is what we call Likert scale or Likert scale. It's the name of a person. Okay? Likert. Likert. You know? Okay? Probably some call it Likert, some call it Likert. Likert. You know? Right. Then semantic differential scale include bipolar adjectives, relatively easy to construct and administer. Behavior intention scale measure likelihood consumer will act as a certain way, easy to construct and administer. Then rank order scale, item rank in order of preference in terms of some criteria. You ask them to rank. Okay. For example, you give McDonald's and KFC and then Pizza Hut. Please rank the one that you will choose the most until the less. Right? So maybe you put 1, 2, then 3. Okay. This is non-Sharia. Okay, you have to become my model afterwards. Okay. Right. You will become a model to be here. Now we have also customer satisfaction measurement, because we call it we want to identify how satisfied is your customer. Because if your customers are satisfied, right? If your customers are satisfied, they will become repetitive and loyal customers. So basically, you want to do analysis of expectation versus the experience of performance. Okay, because customer satisfaction, the formula is very simple. Performance must be greater than expectation. Customer expect A. You give A and B more than what they expect. Alright? And then customer complaint analysis and so on. Okay, sampling data collation. Sample a subset of population used to estimate characteristic of the entire population. You cannot sometimes ask everybody in Malaysia. So what you do is that only take a sample. Right? If you want to ask everybody in Malaysia, how many Malaysians? We have about 30 million or more than 30 million. So if you want to ask everybody, okay, it's going to be problematic. Right? And then the sampling plan addresses whom to survey, how many to survey, how to select them, and researcher must choose probability or non-probability sample. Okay, slip of the tongue. So probability or non-probability. Now this is based on what? This is based on whether the data that you choose, okay, is random or not. Okay, if your data is random, then you look at probability. If the data is not random, then you have to look at non-probability sampling. Example of this is using convenience sampling, Okay? Convenient sampling is that whoever which is convenient to you become your respondents. Okay, that's convenience. Okay, data analysis reporting findings, open-ended questionnaire coded and also quantified. Then you put in a SPSS, then you run the analysis, right? Or maybe you put in the Excels, then you run analysis. All responses are tabulated and analyzed. Final report include executive summary, body tables, and also graph. So that's for today. Any questions before? Any questions that you want to ask? Any questions? Shall we start in chapter 3? Take 5. So we have until 11 o'clock, right? Okay, so we take 5, then we stop the live streaming. Goodbye.